Is Apple Vision Pro the future of music production? If you don't know what Apple Vision Pro is, basically it is a VR headset that Apple introduced at their latest WWDC 2023 event. Every year that they do one of these things, I always ask myself, is this thing going to be the future of music production? Or how is that going to affect the future of how I produce music? 3 years ago, I made this video. 5 reasons iPad music production is the future. And what do we see now? Logic on the iPad. So you can say I have a knack for these things. With that being said, I'm going to take a look at some of the features of Vision Pro and see how that can be implemented into music production. So this is the Vision Pro page. This is what it looks like. You can see there's like 12 cameras on this thing, I think they said. Basically what it does is it tracks the movements of your fingers and your hands and how they interact with your surroundings. This allows you to do different things with the applications that you see on the headset, like dragging and dropping different windows and things like this. Now notice how this is what I'm gonna really find interesting about this, because they talk about spatial computing. We already have spatial audio, which is something that they're really trying to push at Apple and in a few different other areas of music production. But one of the first things that I thought about when I saw this headset or knew that it was coming was being able to mix in spatial in the headset. So imagine somebody wearing Vision Pro, but then wearing, now this might be overkill, but wearing a separate pair of AirPod Maxes or whatever they're going to come out with in the future. And there you are mixing your song in spatial computing with spatial audio. So the way that Vision Pro is going to work is that your apps are displayed in front of you, around you, so you can turn and see apps in different spaces. And what I see this useful for is when we're working, for instance, with multiple screens in our music production program. One screen is for mixing, one screen is for the workspace in general where all your audio files are. And I know what some people are out there saying. They're probably like, this is unnecessary. We can just do this with the mouse and keyboard on our computers as it is. Why? If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? But my thing is, nothing ever gets innovated without taking at least a step forward, trying something new. So with Vision Pro, that is exactly what I see. And it's the same thing that I saw when we came out with iPads and how music production slowly came to the iPad. And that is a version of this, but we're still talking about a physical product that we're touching and sliding the dials of. That is a step forward from having to use one of these to click and drag, a mixing slider up and down or turning knobs and things. Where I see this being useful is for people who are really on the go and traveling a lot, especially on airplanes for those long flights. Instead of busting out your laptop, you can just get your Vision Pro, put your headphones in, and then just start messing around with things and just although this does look like you're doing something else. Okay, now this I find pretty interesting, the photos and videos aspect. What they said is that you can actually take photos and videos in 3D, if I heard that correctly, something that your phone can't do or your DSLR can't do. And so when you're watching your videos back that you take on Vision Pro, it's actually in a 3D effect. And as you can imagine, this I feel can be used definitely for VR music videos. It's going to be a very niche thing, I feel, at least first starting out, but I could see this kind of revolutionizing how people present some of their artwork, aka their music videos and their music, to their audience, especially, forward-thinking artists like The Weeknd or Kanye West, people who like to put on these experiences. They're going to have these crazy environments that you step into, these new worlds that you step into, and you're able to feel like you're part of the music video instead of watching the music video after the fact. You're in there, immersed. And I'm pretty excited about this because I think anybody with a headset is going to be able to do this. It's ridiculously high priced, okay? This thing is almost $4,000. But, and this is a big but, I like big butts and I can't. But think of it as a 3D camera, like a 3D DSLR. You're paying $4,000 for that, plus you can do other things. Maybe just alone for the 3D camera, it may be worth it, but don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure how much those cost. Now here is another thing that I wanted to talk about that I found interesting. Is the connection aspect to Vision Pro. And what we see here is 3 people collaborating on FaceTime on a document that they can all collaborate in real time on the same thing. My prediction here, imagine with the new SharePlay with Logic Pro, now that it is on the iPad, what if you can have collaboration meetings with people who are recording in the same exact project in Logic Pro, GarageBand, I don't know why you would use that cheap thing when you have a $4,000 headset, but I digress. I'm just thinking of the possibilities of somebody using Logic Pro and SharePlay with Vision Pro, collaborating with a whole bunch of other artists that are their friends that also have Logic Pro, all on the same screen, kind of like how this is. So this, in my opinion, could revolutionize the way that we collaborate. And I think a lot of tools already exist to do this. This is due to COVID, and we had to invent some, satellite sessions by Mixed in Key or sessions by Lander. There's a few other tools out there that can do this, but I think with the VR experience, it's going to make this and take this to a whole nother level. This will be Apple's official way, their polished way to allowing people to collaborate in their own DAW, because we all know how Apple loves to keep things locked up in the ecosystem. This is going to be Apple's way to do that. I think this is the first step to opening up collaborative tools in Logic with a tool like Vision Pro. So another prediction, SharePlay coming to Logic Pro. I guarantee you, maybe. Okay? This is, again, always a stepping stone to something new, to something better, to something greater. This is only stage one, okay? I wish I was invited to come check this stuff out, but I feel like I'm always, the black sheep who never gets, I'm literally black, who never gets to go anywhere. But yeah, what do you guys think about Vision Pro? If you liked this video, please leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have any questions or comments for me. And also there is a video here that I will link for you to check out. The algorithm thinks that you're gonna love this, so I suggest that you click it because it usually sometimes knows what it's talking about. Other than that, thank you guys for watching and stay legendary.